about that. So I've reset it. I can't see anything, I can't smell anything, I can't see anything. There's nothing around here that produces. So once Nick finishes on the stove, I'm going to ask him to see if he can replace the batteries. Okay, that's no problem. I just wanted to let you know in case it was just me that had walked into it. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you. Enjoy. Bye. Okay. Oh. Oh. Yummy, yummy. Who is that from? Okay. We are here. Honestly, let me just double check that this thing's working. Oh, goodness gracious. Where did I find it? Okay. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much for your patience. Goodness, I came into the barn and the fire alarm was going off. So I went to check that out and reset it, and then the carbon monoxide alarm went off. And so it's been a bit rushed. Sorry. It is Monday, of course. I think I'm going to have a little look at the battery. And when I say that, I mean I'm going to have to ask Nick to have a little look at the battery, because I had to beat the thing with a pitchfork. So there. So it is still switched off, and wait to see if it goes off again. I did call Janine just to let her know that the fire alarm was going off, and she said it's been doing that all afternoon. There's no smell. There's nothing. There's a bird in here. Hello. How are you? Oh, sweet house sparrow. Hello, wee love. Anyway, so I'm hoping a new battery will maybe solve that problem. Gosh, it's been quite exciting. We have spoken to each other since Christmas, haven't we? The days are just melding. It's like melting ice. They're all melting in together at the moment. It's chaos. We, of course, have Carleen, as you've noticed, is not joining me today because I actually got out of the car to go in and see if I could assist her to get in into here, and I nearly went on my bottom, and I am wearing cleats. So it's probably the best idea that we don't try and transport Carleen at the moment. She had a super visit with the Council on Aging. They sent a bus for her, which was desperately exciting. So she disappeared away in a bus today, and then reappeared back, which was wonderful. And she came back with a walker that has a seat on it. So she seems quite happy with that, and we're hoping that will assist her, particularly if her knee feels like it's about to give out, or she needs a rest. It's far easier with a walker that you're able to sit on, I think. And she did have a very big standing walker that had a seat, but there was some reason, I can't remember what it was. I think that the standing walker wasn't very stable for her. I don't know if it's because she's got the curvature in her spine, but she leaned too heavily on one side of it, and it just didn't feel quite as secure as you would like it to. So she gave up using that, and we are. There goes the fire alarm again. I'll show. Yep. Not having the animals sleeping with that beeping, there's nothing worse, so we'll sort that out later. So they gave her a seated walker, which is super, and she seems to be enjoying it. She and Nick are poring over the plans for the pellet stove at the moment. They're having a jolly good time. They've been doing that all weekend, and that's working out splendidly. Now, I have a new phone. Let's not get overexcited about this because I still can't work it. I thought it would be exactly the same as my other one, and it's not. It does things by itself. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a very steep learning curve. But apparently it does have a phenomenal camera. That's what I'm really looking for. I only need for making phone calls, taking pictures, and that's about me. So, let's see what we've had happening over the weekend since we've spoken with you last. I got more snow than I was expecting. It just keeps falling. This is quite disappointing. And Janine and I went to IKEA, and we had half an hour to spend in IKEA, and we were going in for one thing, and oh my goodness, that's enough to give you palpitations, that store. We picked up the one thing, and I just kept asking people who worked there, where's this? Where's this? It was a duvet cover we were looking for. I said, where did I find the duvet? So we got that, got it in the trolley, and maybe another box or something or other. And I had to keep asking people how to get out, and they don't let you get out. They make you follow all the arrows on the road. But the problem is when you're there on a Saturday and lots of people, it's obviously, you know, the weather's not particularly great outside, and everybody's having a jolly old time strolling around IKEA, and they stopped in the middle of the arrows halfway, and you were on a time deadline. It's not fun. So we eventually got out. And the next trauma was a self-serve checkout, and this enormous box that I had. Oh my golly, you have to scan all this. And I'm suddenly scanning away quite merrily. I could not for the life of me find the blinking barcode because it was on the very bottom. So I had to unpack everything I had in the box and redo it. But people in the line were very, very sympathetic. So we got out and we made it. And then we just happened to pick up 2 bunny rabbits because that's what one does on a weekend when the weather's not good, apparently. We have 2 blue Flemish giants, and Janine will speak more about them tomorrow when she is back. But we're and the male rabbit is called Moose, and the female is called Madeline. And they went out on, well, he went out on his first job today, and Janine said he was absolutely fantastic. So we're delighted with that. That's keep saying to anybody that listens, we're moving on, we're branching out, what's going on. Janine and I are planning on leaving for South Carolina round about Thursday, about 5 in the morning apparently, she says. Sounds like super fun. So the plan at the moment is all subject to change, because you know how that goes. The plan at the moment is we will leave very early. We will get to some sort of halfway point. Sometimes it's BC. We've stopped in other places before. We're taking Chester, Sunshine, the 2 large Dutch harness horses. We are also taking our Miss Spicy Flower. She is going to come with us, our mini horse. We're taking Boom, and we are taking Wanda and 2 chickens. And that's all that we're taking at the moment. But all subject to change. You know how it goes here. And that means that for the programs up here, we'll have the rabbits, and we will have Larky, we have Willow, we have Sally, and we have, who else do we have? We're trying very hard not to take out Delight or Sterling, because it's not the best time of year to be negotiating firstly our driveway with the trailer or anywhere else with the trailer at the moment. It's a bit hairy scary out there. So that's us. We're down. We're up here. We're on our winter schedule, and that should work quite nicely. The other thing is, I'm going down, and the reason I'm going down till the following Wednesday is because Janine has her first official visit as Goldy's Farm South. So I'm going to go out and just help with that and get that facilitated, because I think she's going to start with all of the animals that she's taking down. And that's very nice, because I will probably be able to document that for you once I work out how to use my camera on my phone. But we'll get there. So we just need to firm up who's going to be looking after the barn here. And Meredith, I think, is all covered. And Justin is coming in to cook and assist Carlene. And Nick will obviously be on site, and Sophie and Michelle and Justin. So we're actually in a far better position than we were last year, coming into the new year. So that's quite exciting. And I was just getting the chickens and the horned goats and everything organised and cleaned up, ready for just the week coming. And it's not fun doing it in the rain. I have been soaked, and not only that, the water faucets are all underneath the roof line. So when you're standing filling things up there, you're just getting dripped on left, right and centre. I think I'm going to have to put a gutter up to divert it, because honestly, it's miserable. I've had water down my neck. I've had, you've not to tell Janine, but I've got 2 house chickens at the moment. I am not impressed. And I will say Nick is not impressed with me either. But I had a touch of chicken fighting going on, and it wasn't very pleasant. So I have 2 living in the sunroom in a dog crate. And I take them out. This is ridiculous. I take them out during the day so that they can have a little run around on the deck. But they're not very impressed, because they've got feathery feet and it's all snowy. And they're bantams, so they're tiny. Honestly, this is just getting to the ridiculous stage. Anyway, so that's what has been happening. I'm just back from Meredith, and I had to leave Peanut in a stall in the barn, because I bring her in to make sure that she has enough to eat, because very often she quids, as in she rolls up the hay that she eats and it balls out of her mouth. So I am very worried about being able to maintain her weight. And although she is very fluffy looking, that is all coat. It is definitely not fat on her body. She's extremely hippie, and since we've had her, we've been on a program to make sure that we can get a suitable amount of weight on within the suitable time frame, because you can't just load them full of calories. It doesn't quite work that way. It puts more stress on their little systems. So we've got a very well thought out and considered approach. We follow the USC Davis feeding up guidelines for underweight horses, which is mainly forage. But she's just needing just a little bit extra. So she takes so long to eat. She gets a very hot mash with her minerals and vitamins added, and she just sits. It can take her an hour to eat it. But because the forage pellets that we're using are the medalist ones, they're firstly very much full of protein, and also they absorb water beautifully. So they're actually, it's almost like they're pre-chewed for her. So those I've had great success keeping in her little system. She doesn't quid those and they come back out again. But it's actually very sad watching her, because underneath the snow, and she's in the ice house paddock, and it has the most enormous paddock. There's 2 alpacas in it. There's Harley and Hedwig, the 2 mini donkeys. Wilbur's in it, and she's in it. This is a massive paddock. There is still there is still grass under the ground in the paddock, under the snow in the paddock. And I see her, and she digs with her little foot, and she's nibbling on the tufts of grass that are underneath the snow. And I think it's probably that she finds that easier to chew. We do have an appointment I was going to schedule it, but I can't get it before I go away. But for when I come back, to have something, well, the vet come out to look at her teeth just to see what we can do from that, because we're going to have to rule out why she has lost so much weight, and take it from there. So there you go. Right, I think I found the questions. Boom, boom, boom. No, the beeping has not stopped, Jane. I wish it had, but it has not. Janine will talk about that on tomorrow when she's in. It could be low batteries. I'm really hoping it's low batteries. Yep. And what we'll do is we'll change the batteries and then we'll double check to see whether or not it's carbon monoxide or smoke. And I know there's no smell to carbon monoxide. The beauty of the barn is it is not it's ventilated because there's animals in it. We don't have an airtight barn. There's a draft comes from the front. I may have the doors closed, but there's one pane of glass missing, and it funnels through that pane. And the arena is outside, and there are gaps all the way around about there. So while we'll be extremely vigilant to make sure that when we put the batteries in, that it looks like everything's okay, and we will double check, and we take this very seriously. Now, well, I think we actually might be about to have baby bunnies, because the person who contacted us about the rabbits, this is quite interesting. I didn't realise there's a strain of, I'm going to call it a strain because I don't really know what else to call it. I need to go and research this a bit better. There's Flemish giant rabbits, and they normally come in solid colours. So you've got blue, black, and your fawns, and different shades of fawn. But there's also another, I don't think it's a Flemish giant, but it's something else. So she's moving into breeding these other very large rabbits. She shows her rabbits. She's moving into breeding these other rabbits because they come in far more colour variations, and some have spots, some have splodges. It's quite interesting. So these were part of her previous breeding program. Madeline is between 2 and 3, and Moose. Oh no, hold on a minute. Madeline is 1, and Moose is between 2 and 3. Now, Madeline and Moose, along with another Flemish giant blue rabbit, have been kept in a colony of 3, and they have been together for quite some time. So there's a pretty reasonable chance that what we have taken on is a pregnant bunny. Because everybody needs pregnant bunnies in their life. So, very exciting, but they look like they're going to be a great addition to our outreach program. Gwen is actually here at the moment. No, Mandy is not. Well, Mandy is staying behind, yes, and I've spoken extensively with Sharon about this. And this was one of the things we didn't want to discuss until we had a very thorough and point-blank discussion with Sharon and her family. The 2 dogs are absolutely fantastic. They're lovely. Boom is an absolute love bug. He is a testament to their family. He's just wonderful. He really is. And given the fact that I was a very big Jiminy fan, I love his colourway. Mandy is also an absolute sweetheart. They're very nice natured dogs. But for our purposes, the dogs need to be able to move about an outreach visit individually, confidently, and be confident that they're being well looked after. The people in the outreach visits, we're confident that they're being well attended to. So from that point of view, it's taken us, we've done a lot of observation with the dogs. With Janine, Justin and myself, we've handled the dogs, and we think that way forward to give the dogs the best opportunity is to separate them, because they have basically been together for the whole of Boom's life anyway. And we didn't want to do that immediately because they'd already left their family home, although they still have contact with their family, and that's important to remember. So we decided that maybe the most natural and sensible way to do this, in discussion with Sharon, was we will take Boom down to South Carolina, and he will be down there with Janine, and she will be able to work with him on a daily basis and get him to the level that we need for the outreach visits. It may be that she's able to use him in the program down there as well. And then when Janine comes back, Boom will come back with Janine. So that leaves us with the opportunity to work with Mandy. Now, Mandy, it's never pleasant separating animals that are bonded. It's not something that we would automatically choose to do, but for the welfare of both dogs, we need them with recall, we need them with polite leash manners, and the ability to go into nursing homes or go out for a walk, and not to pull us around, not to run anybody over. So I feel that actually in helping the dogs with leash manners and recall, etc., it actually will give them more freedom in their life, to be honest with you, because we'll be able to take them out different places. We've had Boom on Meredith, and he's fantastic, but he still doesn't, even when you have him out by himself, he still doesn't listen. We tried to train both of them at the same time, but what you were actually, all you were achieving was they were looking to each other for reassurance, and it really just didn't work. So the most sensible way forward is to separate them for a short period of time and have each dog work on their skills individually, and then they will come back together again. We're going to have Willow. Initially, Janine was going to take Willow down to South Carolina with her. But the one thing that we always are very concerned about is having two male dogs on the property. Now, Larky and Boom have only seen each other through fences and from the distance. They have not been in each other's living spaces. We are very conscious that previously Larky and Jiminy had terrific hierarchy problems. So this is something that we are really hoping to guard against. So Boom will go down while Janine is away. He will then come back. Larky will stay as part of the program and obviously as Carlene's service dog. Mandy and the puppy will be in the ICU unit. I am hoping to have time alongside Justin to work with Mandy and her leash manners. We may also have to work with little Miss Willow. We are not comfortable having two female dogs together, to be quite honest with you, because that very often can cause difficulty, although Mandy has lived with her mother, Capri. So when Justin is not around about or there isn't somebody supervising, we will have them separated, but within the ICU and within sight of each other. And I think that's just a good safety practice. It's for the well-being of both dogs, although they will still technically have companionship, because they're going to be seeing each other, so that's not a problem. So lots of changes, lots of work going on, and I think that's a very positive way to move forward with both dogs. I'm sure Sharon won't mind me sharing that she and one of her daughters, we are going to do a few outreach jobs together so that we get into the way of it, because both have expressed an interest in facilitating outreach, and that is absolutely fantastic because it gives us we've been absolutely swamped with requests, and it's tricky. It really is tricky because you need people who know how to handle the dogs in particular. So this could be a really good partnership. and we're certainly hoping it will be. So we'll start initially working with Sharon and one of her children, and we'll see how it goes. And that could be something else exciting for the future. There's lots of things, and they're all piling up here. It's getting quite busy now. Yes, I'm listening to the beeping as well. It's a smoke alarm. It's a pest. So I'm not 100% sure who Janine has arranged to do the feeding and the cleaning up. I do know that Nick will cover for me on Meredith, and then we'll have to just take it from there. But there are people available to come in and cover. That much I do know. Yes, Nick is going to check the batteries. It's going to drive everybody mad. Yes, it is the same telephone number, Carol. Oh, I do have problems answering it, and I couldn't get my emails on my phone either. I've had a bit of a traumatic time. Ugh. Oh, was Sterling misbehaving today? What did he do? He was biting and kicking? No. So that's actually a really good question. I don't think Janine and I are hoping to leave at 5 in the morning. So I think maybe we won't be, but we'll have to see what we can organise for that. So the Goldy's farm visits. I'm not sure what they've got booked for just after New Year. So, but we'll have to accommodate them as best we possibly can. Judy is going away, is it the second week in January? So I will be in Aiken from Thursday until the following Wednesday. Yes, apparently it was Claudia. Apparently it was a COVID outbreak. So now, you know, that's actually a really pertinent point about having dogs and them not all being trained to the same standard. Capri is very well trained. As soon as you add a second dog in, you've got a pack, and I know personally, I've got 7. I know personally that, you know, I German Shepherds in the UK and brought them here. They were trained to the level of we had hand signals, and I could raise an eyebrow and they'd go, "What do you want? Can I help you?" They were absolutely phenomenal. As soon as you go above 1, it gets a bit tricky. It's one of those things, and there's always a way to solve problems, and what we're going to do is we're going to solve the problem, and it enables the dogs to move forward in with the best possible light. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll take it from there. And they will be trained in the way that Carlene used to train her dogs, and they will be highly appropriately trained to slot into the outreach program, because one of the things we are so conscious of is that Sizzle is getting older, and Sizzle needs to decide when she stops, and that's entirely up to Sizzle. Larky is 4 or 5, so then we have slotting in after that, we have Mandy, she's 3, and then we have, or she's 4 now, she might be 4 now, and then we have slotting in after her, Boom, and then we have Willow, because with the best girl in the world, you know, we don't really want to have puppies. And we really don't want to have puppies. No funny babies. But hey, anyway, so we're fine. Judy is gone for, I think it's about 6 weeks. I don't know. I'll have to see when Janine wants to do chatting. Carlina's doing very well. She's reorganizing her house. She has a washing machine and a dryer, and she's got a pellet stove. Well, I don't know if it's working quite yet, but it's getting there. And she had her television attached to the wall, so she can move it round upside down and round about and angle it to whichever direction she fancies. So she's very pleased with that. Well, there you are. So we have Capri, who has been trained by Carleen. So that's wonderful. So Carleen is actually having quite a good time because she's telling everybody how to do things. It's wonderful. It's keeping her out of mischief. She's rearranging things. She's getting things just how she likes it. And she said to me today, she said, "How slidey is it?" I said, "Well, I did slip coming out of my car." I said, "So it's up to you." And she said, "If it's icy, I don't think I should risk it." And I said, "It's probably a good idea." She said, "Well, I'll see you in spring." And I said, "That's only if we let you out for good behaviour." So, but I actually think she'll be out well before then. No, so I am really not sure about Judy's schedule. I don't really pay much attention to anything other than what animals are underneath my nose until I'm poked into action. So I haven't really noticed. Somebody may be able to see that on the calendar. No, I'm leaving Janine down in Aiken and I am flying back. I absolutely detest flying, but I am going to fly back. I think Penny is she not in the place that's opposite the home for the deaf or the school for the deaf? What we're planning for is dogs that are based on here, because those are the ones that we're responsible for training and we pick up and lift and go. And it's the same with the horses. We try very hard not to be using the animals that are in Meredith because it's another stop. And also, it just adds another bit of chaos into the morning when you're leaving for a job. So this is actually what we do is plan for the animals that we've got right underneath our noses, because that's all that we can plan for, because anything else is just chaos. Oh, 5 is going to be almost 5. What's going to be almost 5? Can't read that. Oh, Larky, almost 4, Mandy. Boom will be almost 2, and Willow 1.5 in spring. Oh, the flight's awful. I go from Davyfield to Charlotte, I think, and then I go from Charlotte to Logan, and it's one of those flights that there's very often lots of delays. It's not a very long flight. I mean, I think the first flight from Davyfield to Charlotte's very quick. I think it's under an hour. Depends whether or not you've got a following wind. And then the other one's just a few hours as well. But hey. Oh, that's funny you should ask about Pasta. I saw Pasta yesterday. And I had a Pasta snuggle, which was lovely. He is doing extremely well. He's put on a good amount of weight and he is bouncing around, so that was lovely. Now, I don't know when Gwen's going home. I only saw her very briefly. See, I'm not much use for all these sorts of social arrangements, am I? I just know what's happening with the animals. I kind of like keep out of the rest of it and just do what I'm told. So yeah. Janine will be here tomorrow and she can answer all those sorts of questions. That's probably the best way to put it. So, I think Carleen's dinner should be coming today. I don't think it's a holiday, so I'm presuming that will be coming today, so that will be super fun. And oh, I can video Pasta. you know, I didn't think to. I'll tell you the reason I didn't actually think to video pasta was because just before he had come out, there was a coyote that was wandering in front of the sheep paddock, and bold as brass, bright daylight, about 10 in the morning, just sauntered past, quite the thing, and we were all a bit worried that Pasta was about to come out in his mid-morning walk and have coyote to contend with, but no, that was it, all A-okay. So I did totally forget, and I know I should have, and I am sorry. I will do it next time. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get that thing fixed, and I hope everybody has a lovely evening. And look, I've got a handy dandy little thing like that, so I can put it down. Ta-da! I think also what Janine and I were saying was that we might do some of the mail chats from down south. And at which point, if that's the case, we'll have to go back onto Facebook. But we'll try and be organised. Chance would be a fine thing. We'll try and be organised and let everybody know well in advance. It may be that depending on what's going on up here and people numbers, we may have to do all of them down there. But we will let you know. But while we're here at the moment, they'll be on this camera here. Okay. Good night, everyone. Why don't you do that? Oh, it's a thinking box. I forgot. Oh, I'll have to do that tomorrow. Sugar. Oh my. You okay, baby? Okay, go. Oh, right. Just go off and go with it. Hey, Sunflower. There's my baby girl. Oh, it's just a bit too. Oh, there's my baby.